I'm definitely ready. We have Mr. Yo playing against Dark on the lovely map, which is called Coast to Mountain. And Coast to Mountain is a map where, you know, all the wild dreams of a lot of viewers are coming true. Because first of all, you're not starting with a TC, you have to build it yourself. Second of all, you have more villagers as well, which is boosting the action in the game. On the right hand side, we have a lot of water here. And then on the top side, we have all the forests, all the gold. Well, not all, but a lot of gold and a lot of stone here. We also see a different way of approaching. So Dark is going for the TC here in the north, while also making a dock here in the south. Mr. Yo, however, he has not built a dock yet, which is extremely surprising to me. He's going for the lumber camp here, and I guess he wants to build the villager, or he wants to build the dock very soon now with the villager. So it feels like Mr. Yo's approach is very much the same as a standard map, where he's just playing 6 on food, 4 on wood, and then send 1 out to build the dock. He is also actively scouting the coast here. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure he will send it out. It would have been very surprising if he had not done that. We have Dark currently having the same amount of economy units. So I think his start should be a bit better. And that is also a very interesting way for me to also be able to analyze this a bit, because there are different approaches to this one. There are 3 different approaches so far. So the first one is build a TC in the middle right away. So that way you get the TC up faster and you're able to build villages faster compared to if you build the TC here. The problem is that you have to spend wood on the lumber camp, which means that your dock might be a bit late to compared to if you build the TC here. And the third approach is, yes, you build the TC here right away, but you don't go for the lumber camp. You go for the dock right away, and you gather wood with the forests or the straggly trees, which are close to a TC. So these are the 3 different approaches. But we can already see that Dark has gotten himself a huge advantage here. He has 20 economy units, while Mr. Yo, he was at 17. So it feels like Dark is roughly 2 economy units faster than his opponent. The advantage of having the TC here in the middle is that you're getting the elephants and the zebra a bit shorter, or yeah, it's just not as far walk as if it was TC'd here, because here he has only 1 pack of 4 zebras, but Dark really has to walk a bit further compared to Mr. Yo. Okay, so we have Mr. Yo up to fuel age a bit faster. He has 1 minute and 50 seconds remaining, while Dark, he's going up now, so it is roughly 25 seconds trailing behind there. That's roughly 1 villager. We have 6 fishing boats for Dark, while Mr. Yo, he only has 3. And that is already a huge advantage for Dark. So I like his build a bit better. He's building a house now. It's not a mill, it's a house. And with Bengalis, they have also the classification that they are naval. I'm not sure how you pronounce that, but naval civilization, because their navy units, they regenerate hit points per minute. I think 15 seconds per minute, if I'm not mistaken. And that really helps in the small battles. Like, for example, at the beginning, if you think about fire galleys fighting against each other, having the possibility to regenerate health is a beautiful thing. And yeah, that's why I think Bengalis should be a bit stronger on water compared to Bulgarians. Bulgarians themselves, they don't really have anything going for them on water, except maybe that you could make the argument that they get the cheaper fletching on the blacksmith. But that's not going to be too relevant because both players are going for fire galleys. Let me quickly turn off the alerts. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. By the way, Sweden, thanks so much for the 2 months. We have Town Watch coming in, and we also have the wood upgrade for Mr. Yo. And now both players are going to fight for the water. We see 2 docks from each other. Both players are not committing too much. They just want to ensure that they get the initial fire galleys out. They want to fight for the water, yes, but they are not committing too heavily here. And it feels like Yo has the little advantage here just because of the fact that he was up to fuel age a bit faster. And therefore, he got the first hits on the fishing boats. And yeah, Dark, he has to pay attention to this one. If he's taking one bad demo shot, that could really ruin his water life right there in this game. Mr. Yo doing a nice job. Okay, scratch that sentence. Mr. Yo was doing a good job. He committed the demo against the fishing boat. And that's not something you want to do. That's definitely not something you want to do. So he was killing one fishing boat and is kind of losing a lot of hit points on his fire galleys. Maybe he's going to be able to snipe off one more fishing boat. Dark is not really reacting at all. Killing 3 fishing boats in total, Mr. Yo is. But he, in the meanwhile, he is going to be losing the water in the process. Because, yeah, he is still queuing up one demo. But I don't think that demo is going to be doing too much. And Dark trying to do a nice micro here with the camel. But Mr. Yo was able to save this one. And now his 3 fishing boats are going to, you know, bite the dust as well. Meanwhile, we can already see that Mr. Yo has... Oh, wait, 1 second. I think we will see nice micro here. That villager should in theory go down. I don't see a world where this one is surviving. And we indeed now have Mr. Yo going forward with 2 men-at-arms. And he in total has 8 economy units less than Mr. Yo. Yes, you have to keep in mind that with Bengalis you get 2 extra villagers if you reach fuel age. But... you know, overall, this is looking very good for Dark so far. But now the pressure is here. And Dark, he has not done any transition yet to land at all. And he's going to lose that villager as well, isn't he? Kind of looks like that. He's spreading out his fishing boats very nicely. And Dark, he has been reacting very, very slowly. Wow, these kind of things really surprise me. He has reacted very, very slowly to this aggression from Mr. Yo. And therefore he loses 2 villagers in the process. It is not too bad for him though, because he still has the water. And with the water in his hands, he will be able to crack out a few more fishing boats that will further increase his economy lead. But overall, it's very sloppy indeed. And you know, one thing you always have to keep in mind is that this is tournament environment. And tournament environment means that people usually are more nervous compared to if it's just a 0815 ranked ladder. So you will see blunders happening, and usually it is the more experienced player who is taking the win most of the time. Because Mr. Yo, for example, he has been used to playing those tournament games for a decade or even longer. And that's why he should have a slight advantage, especially on the mental part, over Dark here. And Dark losing another villager here. He is being so sloppy right now with the way he's playing, isn't he? Losing a villager. He has 1 archer out now. But, he needs to get a second archer range out as soon as possible. The good thing for him is he's going up to cast age already. And his economy is still looking very, very strong. So even though he has lost a lot of villagers already to those archers and to the men-at-arms, and another one goes down as well. What? How did that one not hit? Oh, Missio wants that one badly. He really wants that one badly. And I'm pretty sure he will get that one. Yeah, Missio will get that one. But man, that was a close one, isn't it? I like what Dark has been doing on water. It's not like he has committed too much on this one. And I'm wondering how Mr. Yo is going to feel like when he sees that his opponent is indeed already in Castle Age while he is struggling for everything. I mean, he's going for scout play. So he will be able to get some good aggression on the land as well with the scouts. But overall, if these crossbows, or soon to be crossbows, are not being caught by those scouts, and it does not look like they would be caught, then he has a lot of potential to do something here. And yeah, Mr. Yo, he's aware of those villagers here, and it feels like Dark should be losing all the villagers here. At this point, drop off the food. Drop off the food. That's so important, because these 4 villagers, they are going to die. And we see a siege workshop coming up for Dark. And Mr. Yo, he's just not having a villager goes down. I know that feeling. Kate, enjoy. Bye-bye. Wood upgrade coming in for Dark. And now we see Dark trying to make something happen. But he is not really too successful with that plan, because Mr. Yo has walled himself up very nicely. And it feels like both players, they are just playing very, very sloppy so far. Mr. Yo trying to get that elephant into the TC. That looked hilarious. That looked hilarious. He was one shot away from killing that villager. And the elephant, it went ham. It has done the job for Dark here. Oh boy. 45 villages against 48. Let's not forget, Mr. Yo, he's advancing to Castle Age now himself. So he will have some idle CC in terms of villager production. He will further build houses here, so he wants to get these walls up fully. And yeah, Dark so far, he's trying to apply the pressure here with the crossbowman and mangonel play. And I think the chances are very good that he's going to be successful in doing that, because Mr. Yo, right now, he doesn't have any defense here. And I think what he needs to do right now is to build stone walls. He has a lot of skirms, so he will go for elite skirms. And what I like about what Dark is doing right now, he's really putting also big emphasis on getting himself the economy upgrades. The only thing missing for him is the horse collar. That's something he definitely has to go for as soon as possible. But yeah, that's not something he's doing right now. And we see another blacksmith here. The 2 mangonels are going to be posing a big threat to... Oh, Dark losing 2 crossbows. In the meanwhile, that was very sloppy by him. And usually if you're in these kind of situations, it is super important that you are very careful with the units you're having. And we see chain barding armor coming in as well now for Mr. Yo. And so with 2 stables, he should be able to defend this push here. I also don't see Dark adding any monastery whatsoever. So this is definitely looking very nice for him. Also expanding here on the right hand side. And once the blacksmith is down, the +2 has completed, we will be able to see some action coming here. And now Mr. Yo, he's showing the knights here. So Dark, in theory, he should know what is going to happen to him. And in this situation, it would be better for him to retreat here, because if you commit here, you run the risk that you're losing all the army. And I love what Dark is doing. Very smartly, just pulling back, wanting to get the pike transition, which would be a lovely tool for him to fight off against the knights. However, Dark, he has 71 economy units versus the 50 of Mr. Yo. So Dark definitely having a huge lead in that regard. Mr. Yo, he's trying everything to expand his economy as much as possible, but it still looks to me that Mr. Yo, he's trailing behind. But those mangonels, they're completely exposed against that one knight. Only lost one in process, but that could have been so much worse. So much worse here. Yeah, I need to learn to breathe as well while casting, man. However, we're entering the stage where all the fish, or almost all the fish, has been depleted. And thus, the efficiency of the fishing boats, they are extremely bad now in this situation. So, you have to babysit them, you have to build fishing traps. And that obviously is not the best thing to spend your wood on right now. And Dark, he's getting the clutch conversion. Skirms are going to go down. They are taking the monk with them. But overall, I think Mr. Dark should be very happy with that engagement here. And also killing all the skirms means that you kinda ruin the tech transition or attack switch from your opponent. Mr. Yo could have gone for the elite skirms. Having already 8 skirms would have been very easy to counter the archers or the crossbows and the pikemen. But Dark was able to snipe them. And yeah, we see now Dark having 88 villagers. Building a castle here. The raids are a bit annoying though, so he will lose a few villagers in the process. But overall, Mr. Yo, he needs to try to make something happen desperately. Mr. Yo currently only has 2 TCs. He's adding the 3rd one. But you also have to keep in mind, he was investing heavily into the 2 stable knight play in order to defend against the aggression. And Dark, in the meanwhile, he was not committing too much onto the aggression, right? He was mainly booming and also doing a bit of aggression at the meanwhile. So we see now the castle here. And it feels like Dark should not take too much damage here. However, those knights here, they're definitely doing a lot of work here. They're killing so many villagers in the process. And Mr. Yo, he must be happy with the way this is playing out right now. Horse color, still missing for Dark. So, in that regard, he has been very, very sloppy. And oh no, Mr. Yo is able to retreat here. Oh, that hurts. That definitely hurts a lot. Siege workshop coming forward for Mr. Yo. I think he knows the position he is in right now. And he knows exactly that he needs to push. He needs to force something. Because if this continues the way it shapes out to be, then the likelihood of Dark just overrunning him is very, very high. With ballistics coming in for Dark as well, definitely will help a lot against incoming night raids. And especially when there's a siege workshop coming forward. I don't expect Dark to see that, no. The thing is that Dark doesn't have the town watch yet. We have a Krapos coming up here. No, Yo doesn't even know about the castle here. But that Krapos is very well placed. With that one, he's going to be able to do a lot. With Heavy Plow and Bosa coming in for Mr. Yo as well. And now those pikes will be forced away from the situation. Because the Krapos, they are going to be too annoying to deal against. And obviously, yeah, he sees the outline there. And man, what happened here? Like, Dark has literally lost all his crossbows. And it feels like he has lost them completely for free. So, yeah, not the ideal start into this mid castle age. However, if you look at it, His economy is just so much better. It's miles away. How many villages does Yo have? 78 and 96 for Dark. He still has fishing boats active, but yeah. At this point, I like to... don't count them as one anymore, because it feels like their efficiency is just not there. I would consider them as 0.7. Don't ask me why I came up with that number. It felt like that. And I love what Dark is doing right here. He has elephants, the armored elephants. And the armored elephants, they are doing quite a bit of work against those Trappos. But yeah, Mr. he's repairing, so this Trappos should not die here. And it feels like the aggression of Mr. has completely been shut down by Dark. And these castles, they're going to be adding so much value with ballistics. Yeah, a few villages are going to go down in the process, but at this point, Dark doesn't care too much about those villagers. I mean, he cares, but it's not like... it is a big issue for him. And Dark currently has 7,500 score, while Mr. Yo has 5,700. And that is so surprising to me. Like, Yo, for me personally, was the huge favor going into the set. And especially on maps like this one, because this is a Nomad start. And with Nomad start, that means that Mr. Yo, he has the expertise how the best builds should be. Nothing is going on water. We see red dots here on the south side. We also see a bit on the north side, and we see the aggression here. And yeah, exactly. That's what you need to do. Just make the rough melee units, because that way he is going to be able to fight against those knights very nicely. The armored elephants trying to get in there, but I don't think they're going to be too successful in doing so. Rapos is up. But if we're looking at the overall population, guys, we have 170 population for Dark, which is also, or who is also going for Handcart and Imperial Age. While Mr. Yo, he is struggling heavily. He currently has 100 population. 93 out of it are villagers. We have 8 military army. And Dark is getting such a beautiful position on this map. This is looking ideal for him. He still doesn't have heavy plow, but I think he doesn't need that at this point anymore. Dark has not gone for Bloodlines and Wrath for the speed upgrade. It doesn't look like that, right? Husbandry and Bloodlines. They seem to be missing. I'm just wondering, guys, Connex in theory should be shredding those Wrath, but I don't think that Mr. Yo is going to have the time he needs to go into a lot of Connex. Yeah, these knights are going to go down now in the process as well. I'm surprised he doesn't have any villages here. And how many TCs does he have? 3 in total. So we will see an additional 6 villages coming out of Mr. Dark's TCs upon reaching Imperial Age. Gold shaft mining coming as well. Mr. Yo, he is going for Imperial Age himself though. He in theory has an okayish economy. You can definitely work with that. And a lovely cast is coming up as well. And that conning is just gonna be completely being shredded by those fire galleys. And yeah, Dark, he is entering the base of Mr. Yo, and it feels like Mr. Yo with the 6 military, he is not going to be able to withstand the ground here. Monk goes down, but yeah, 8 military against 50. That in general is not the best situation to be in. And that for sure is not the best situation. We have stirrups for Mistio, so that allows his cavalry to attack 25%. Chat, correct me if I'm wrong. 25% faster. And Mistio, he is forced to tap out of this one. Very nice performance by Dark. Hallelujah. And the MTC has been denied. It was the MTC. Nice. I didn't even check, but at this point the game was over already anyway. At this point it was already over. Okay, wow. 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 Yeah, they're kissing each other. They are definitely kissing each other. We have Dark playing in the red trunks as Incas. His dog is here and his TC is there. While Mr. Yo, he is playing as Vietnamese in the blue trunks and his TC is there and his dog is there. So both players, they are so close to each other in terms of the dog position. And that is something which I'm just wondering, if we're talking about Nomad start, I think Incas should have a bit of a lead because they don't have to invest as much into wood as the Vietnamese player, because their houses grant 10 capacity while Vietnamese only grant 5. So I would assume it's a bit better for Incas here. Let's see. How is the start going to look like? How is Mr. Yo's vision? He sees the boar. He sees another boar. So he already has 2 boars. I would even say confirmed, because I don't think Dark is aware of this one, is he? Yeah, he just barely misses that one. And Mr. Yo, he obviously... No, Mr. Yo had... Yeah, oh yeah, Mr. Yo is Vietnamese. Mr. Yo is Vietnamese. So he's taking the boar, knowing that there's a chance that Dark has spotted that one, and he wants to go for that boar as well. And Dark, in the other side, he could be knowing that there is a TC there. Does he know that the TC is there? Because the sheep, there is no sheep for Mr. Yo. That's something I'm not entirely sure about. What would you guys say? I'm really not sure. And both players are not really attacking each other, which is extremely surprising to me. The start is going to tell a huge thing. Mr. Yo, he's 1 pop ahead. And Dark is going for Loom now. So if you go for Loom, you wanna go for the attack onto the dog villager, I would assume. And yeah, the problem for Dark is that his build, I don't like his build. He will get more fishing boats out than Mr. Yo, yes. But he already went for Loom. So that means he's going to be delayed in that department. And he doesn't have so much on food right now. So, yeah. I'm not sure. I don't like that one too much. Is this a good move by Mr. Yo? He kind of trapped himself here. He definitely trapped himself. I mean, he could be deleting the house, in theory. And yeah, the palace side. Yeah, they're just going to be super annoying here in this one. Dark also being heavily housed. Heavily housed at 15 population. Yeah, Mr. Yo, I'm sure he's enjoying himself right now. I'm wondering with how many villagers he will try to go up. I think with 21 should be a good goal. However, the problem for Mr. Yo is that he doesn't have any additional food under the TC. And this one, it has 160 more food in the bank. It's still going to be a tough one to pull off, I think. Mr. Yo in theory has berries he could be taking. He's also getting the sheep here. And Dark could have easily tried to attack that villager due to the fact that it doesn't have loom. He just doesn't have loom. And now Mr. Yo is going for the berries. But yeah, look at that. He is really struggling heavily to get up to fuel age. And now he has 5 fishing boats. 5 fishing boats and 4 against the 6 of Dark. So Dark is pulling ahead in the fishing boat count. But I still believe that Mistio should be up to fuel age a bit faster. Well, let's see. Dark is now heavily going onto the boars. And he's building a lumber camp here, which could be exposed to the TC. Feels like early fish women to faster fuel age. And that's something which never should happen. We see the gold mining upgrade, gold mine coming up now for Mistio. And he will indeed be going up. He has 24 economy units while Dark has 23. Dark has 25 seconds of idle TC time. You like how my hair is looking like today? Awesome. And that's the way to do it. You know, I'm putting so much focus on how my hair look like. Okay, both players are going up to fuel age. Dark trailing behind roughly 10 seconds, so it's not going to be the most important thing. And Dark, he is always going to be kept busy with that villager, so that means he's not really able to add additional docks here. While we see Mistio already doing that. A tower next to dock is a play for Dark here? No. And the tower itself is not doing anything because you can just build the dock somewhere else and then maneuver your fishing boats there. So that's not something you want to go for. Okay, Mistio also trying to get this boar here. He's starting with the fire galleys. That's kind of something you have to if you're so close to each other. And Dark, he's interestingly enough going for galleys instead of fire galleys. So we already see a different approach here from both players. The scouting of Yo has been phenomenal this game. He knows so much already. And you can see he's really putting a huge focus onto that he's getting the scouting information he needs. And on the other side, Dark's scouting is by far not as good as Mr. Yo's. We see an outpost coming up for Dark as well. Love that move. You know, Nomad is so much about vision. Nomad is so much about vision here. We see a fletching coming up as well. For Mistio. For Dark. And Mistio, he obviously doesn't need the fletching right now. With fire galleys, they're not benefiting from fletching at all. Fire galley has been saved, and I love the move of switching the sides here. Because if your fire galley has 5 HP or 100 HP, it doesn't matter, the damage output is going to be the same. And Mistio, he's building a archer range here, which is rather surprising. Because Dark has an outpost there. And yeah, in these moments, the fire galleys should be reigning supreme. Like, it feels like it is way too hard for the water player to focus on galleys and also land. That's something we usually never see. Or we see that, but never see working properly or successfully. And now we have a tower fight coming in as well for both players. And Mistio having a huge advantage in that one. Because if we have already 3 villagers attacking the tower, that's going to help a lot. And Mistio, he already has an archer out. He doesn't have fletching, but he has an archer. And that archer is going to be very annoying. And Dark is losing a lot of villagers in this tower fight here. Is he going to be able to win a tower fight though? It does not look like that, especially if you are losing another villager and the tower itself. He could in theory even be taking down that villager as well. It's 3 HP. Yeah, he's not committing. Which is a good move. And that's the problem with going galleys, guys. That's the problem with going galleys. Dark is going for stone. He is going for stone here. So, if we're looking at his resources, he has 200 food right now. So he ain't going to be doing anything soon with that stone. Except maybe building towers. The problem is for him, he doesn't really have access to gold right now. And Mr. Yo, he's killing a lot of villagers of dark. A lot of villagers of dark. Look at that. 3 went down. And we see most likely even more villagers going to go down. Dark, he will try everything he can to get control of this center here by building a tower. He wants to get an archer range as well, but I'm not sure how successful he's going to be with that. Mr. Yo, if he commits onto the tower with those villagers, I think he's more than fine. Really more than fine. And that's exactly what he's doing right now. He's committing onto the tower, and I think Dark is going to be forced out of this game because I don't see how he's going to be able to save that tower. And with the tower going down, that means also his hopes for game number 2. Dark still hangs in there. No, he does not. GG has been called. And military-wise, we see obviously Mr. Yo having a huge advantage there. And economy also looked a bit better for Mr. Yo there. Okay, guys, we have fortified clearing, which is, you can say, or you can compare it to arena with the difference that in the back, the bases are also connected instead only at the front. So in the back, you have a bit of extra resources. You have the deer, you have the wolves, you have extra stone and gold. And in the middle, you have all the 5 relics in the middle there. All spawning there. And yeah, on the south side, we have Mr. Yo playing as Khmer. And on the north side, we have Dark playing as Ethiopians. And I'm just wondering, Ethiopians against Khmer. Ethiopians should be definitely stronger in Imperial Age, aren't they? Like, when I'm thinking about Ethiopians, I'm thinking about Halberdier and Siege Onager combination. And what in this world can Khmer do against that? Like, nothing. They have Hussars, they die against Halberdiers. They have Arbalest, die against Siege Onagers. They have the good old Ballista Elephant, that also dies against the Siege Onager and Halberdier combination. So, as Khmer, what you will have to try to do here is that you don't go into Imperial Age or late Imperial Age. Yeah, like, no way. They cannot keep up with Ethiopians. However, what Khmer has going for them is the fact that their economy is just so extremely smooth. They can go up to the next ages without the necessity of building 2 extra buildings, which are only available at a certain age. Therefore, what we see from Khmer, and that is, as far as I know, the best build you can do is you go for 23 uptime into Fuel Age. Once you reach Fuel Age, you go into Cast Age right away without building any additional villager. That obviously requires some training. And I'm not sure if I've ever played that build order. But if you're able to nail that one down, that boosts your capabilities in which you have as Khmer. Both players are going to be busy now luring the deer. And, you know, if I was Ethiopians here, I wouldn't even bother. I wouldn't even bother with the relics. Because I would be like... I mean, like, seriously. The only gold I need is for the Siege Onagers. And there is enough gold on the map. So, once I have the siege onagers, I will be trading so nicely against the Khmer army that I will win the game before relics are going to be relevant anyway. So yeah, it should be fun. Drone is acting odd last 5 minutes. Thank you. Yeah, the thing is, I maybe ate a bit too much, but I wanted to do that because it's going to be a long day, and I don't want to be sitting here starving. I'm always acting odd. Thank you. Klexerich. Always good. When is Tato's match? Tato's match is scheduled at 3rd. Kate, I know, exactly. I was thinking about you as well, and I was like, yeah, Kate cannot handle the eating. So we'll have to eat before that. We have both players at 21 villagers. Nothing odd seeing here, and I want to pay a close look onto the build of Mr. Yo. Is he going for 23? Oh, he's even going for 22. Ooh, I don't expect him to be able to have enough resources to make that work. Let's see if I'm wrong with that idea. But I don't think it's going to work. Do you guys think it's going to work? I don't think so. 23 has always been the creme de la creme when you're playing with Khmer. Dark on your side, he's going for barrack. And I would assume he would go for a stable as well to secure the relics in the middle. Otherwise, it doesn't really make sense to go for the barrack there. Jordy, have you ever seen Nikola Jokic and Dowd in the same room? Coincidence? Haha. Jade, are you still playing Age of Empires 2? I have not seen you in a while. Isn't that 23 pop with Scout? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh no. That's a good point. That's a very good point. Yeah, it's 23. My bad. But I told you, he doesn't have the resources to go up the cast stage right away. So, therefore, I would claim that I was right. I am back to 2K2. Nice. You've been playing Age of Empires 4, right? Interesting map. Yep, it is. Still losing too many games. Yeah. You have to try to qualify for Jordan's Medieval Brawl. Yeah, we see stable coming up for Dark, and the way Dark is placing his buildings is very defensively. So he knows that in Privilege he's going to be having a good time against Khmer. And you know, that's rather surprising because right now Dark is in a perfect position, I would say, to even take the lead against Mystio. Which should be a huge boost to his confidence level. Let's not forget about it. Mystio, he has just barely beat Miguel in the opening match 3-2. So it's not like he has had the smoothest run so far in the tournament. Stable coming up now up as well for Mystio. Both players have the wood upgrade and horse collar. And Mystio is going to be heavily ahead over his opponent into the cast stage. While Dark himself, he went for a very strong build as well. And I'm wondering, guys, Dark, he will only have gold for one monk. He only has gold for one monk. That feels to me that this could be a bit dicey. Because if you lose the monk, that means that he's in problem. Because he will not have the gold to go for another monk. So he literally needs to get one relic at least. He needs to get one relic. Oh, don't go in here, Dark. Oh. You have the second TC coming up from Mr. Yo. And, as expected, the Monk. And the Monk is trying to... Oh, the pikeman. Oh, they're trading 1 for 1. Oof. I guess overall it was still a bit better for Dark because he had way less hit points on his Monk, on his Scout. And Mr. I think he's going to get this one, isn't he? Oh, Dark knows. Dark knows. Dark knows. Oh, Mr. What is he doing? Oh, oh no. That hurts so much. That hurts so much. Yeah, Dark is trying to be as annoying as possible. But in the meanwhile, Dark should be able to get a Monk out. No way. Oh, why would you do something like that? He's throwing away his Monk. And Missio. Oh, that was amazing. That was amazing. I love that. I love that, sincerely. Oh, that's hilarious. You know, the relic, the Monk with the relic just threw it over the gate. And now we have Dark way overcommitted with his scouts. And they are going to die. And I don't think they are going to be able to even get one scout kill in the process. And Dark will try to get another Monk kill. And I think he should be successful in doing that. And... No! He didn't commit! Why wouldn't he commit here? Let's pay close attention to what's going on right now. We have 35 villagers against the 39. DC all time of Mr. Yo is out of the roof. Or through the roof. I think that's the right wording. And yeah, Scout is much more valuable than Monk do. If he had killed one Monk, it would have been a very good one for him. And yeah, the Monk is going to garrison again. They're just now playing cat and mouse. Out of the roof. Out of the roof. How many relics does Dark have? Obviously none. Because he doesn't have gold to produce a Monk. And Dark, he had 2 TCs only. Oh, and the Monk goes down. The Monk goes down. And that is, overall, everything considering, not too bad of a situation for Dark, I feel. Mr. Yo doing a nice job in microing. Dark trying to prevent here the kill of the Monk. And oh, he just barely did not get that one. That was a very close one. Dark getting himself the first relic. And he's very optimistic to send out that Monk again. Get some relics here. And oh, this was a close one. And Mr. Yo, he's going to grab that Monk here. This is a close one. You don't want to play. You don't want to play with fire here. That Scout needs to retreat as soon as possible. And we see a 4th TC coming up from Mr. Yo as well. So he in theory should be able to go or push himself ahead with the economy. With Heavy Plow, we have Bosa and Wheelbarrow coming in from Mr. Yo. Now that things are a bit more smoother. And instead of Heavy Plow, we have Dark going for Hand Card. I still think he should get Heavy Plow as soon as possible as well. Because I'm expecting him to add around 10 or 15 even more farms. And there it could be very, very useful. Kill these 2 houses and you get 2 more nice farms. Oh, nice save. Nice save by Dark. And he now will get himself the 3rd relic even. Oh no, he was playing in the set. On is in town here. Not playing with fire, he's playing with Yo. Yeah, you guys love those. You definitely love those. So I'm just wondering, Dark able to get the 4th relic as well. He's adding the 4th TC. Mysterio going for the zone and gold mining upgrade. He has more villagers, but Dark has the hand card. So overall, I would even say that the economy is very equal, even though Khmer should be a bit ahead at this point. With University coming in for Dark. And if we're looking at the resources, Dark is looking very, very close to go imp. And his play so far has been impeccable. That knight is having a nice catch against the villager. Quick wall Dark. Quick wall! Okay, not happening. That was just too much to ask for. However, what is Mysterio doing here? What is Mysterio doing here? I suppose he wants to build a castle here. That's something which would make sense with the approach. So what he wants to do is, he wants to completely ignore the front and shift focus here to the sides. I wonder how successful that one is going to be. We have Camel coming out for Dark and the Monk as well. So there is no way this should be working. No way. No way. No way. Oh! Oh! He doesn't see it. He doesn't see it, guys. And that could have been a huge teller for Dark. If he had seen that. And he barely misses the villagers as well. Oh, and Dark doesn't have stone for a castle himself. Castle being built on the right hand side for Mysterio. Why not on the left hand side? Oh, he sees the stable. Guys, he sees the stable. This is huge. This is absolutely huge. Because he's going for a barrack play anyway. And Camel line of sight was enough indeed. Now he has the full vision. And now he has the perfect position to counter what Mysterio is going to try to throw at him. And we have cavalry play against the halberdier push. Yeah, that's not going to be too successful, is it? We have a castle coming up on the left hand side. Castle going up on the right hand side. And what Dark is lacking right now is stone for his own castle. He will have bomber cannons though. He's going for halberdiers. He's going for chemistry. He just has to wait one more minute. And after that, he should be able to push these two castles back very easily. Because what can Khmer really do against the halberdier and bomber cannon play? Not too much. You could make the argument to go for obelisk, but they don't have thumb ring. So Khmer really struggles to fight against the halberdier and onager combination. Ballista Elephantos. He wants to cut himself into the base. He wants to cut himself into the base, guys. And that is a lovely idea. I don't think it's going to work. Because the halberdiers should be there in place. And we already have 17 army for Dark. And he's also going for plate mail. He's going for plate mail armor as well on his infantry. And we have the bomber cannons coming out indeed. On the left hand side, Dark doesn't really have proper defense for that. At least on static defenses. But yeah, the halberdiers, they're just going to be completely fine against that. Dark needs to pay attention though. He must not allow those knights to do too much damage here with those raids. And we indeed see now the Barbon cannons, and they're going to be such an annoying part for Mr. Yo to deal against. The TC is going to go down, and we see a lot of cavalry going down for Mr. Yo as well. And this could be even the longest 1v1 game so far for the fortified clearing. Because every time we have seen this map so far in this tournament, it has been over, I would say, rather faster than later. Halberdier positioned very nicely. Let's see what Mr. Yo is transitioning into. He's going for skirms, guys. So he wants to go the route of complete trash units, while his economy is just looking so good in the meanwhile. He's falling behind here. He is obviously aware that this castle is going to be a goner. Outpost. Killing the outpost is very underrated, I feel. You just want to deny division onto your opponent. We have even fortified wall coming in for Mr. Yo and leather archer armor. And Mr. Yo, he is scouting that his opponent has put the villagers into the front, but just the halberdiers themselves should be enough to clean up these light cav. They are just way too strong. And now we see walls coming up for Dark as well. Dark will fully shift his focus onto the left hand side. And Dark is a bit late on the Onager switch. That's something you want to go for as soon as possible. Because with the Onagers are just trading against the skirms so much better than the bomber cannons are. Why would you guys... Fortified wall denied? How? Did he have university or what? It was forward university. Oh god, that definitely hurts. That definitely hurts indeed. And you know, one thing I absolutely love in Age of Empires 2 is when traps just randomly hit the bomber cannon with their perfect accuracy. With their perfect accuracy. That's always a beautiful thing to watch. We have siege drums coming in from Mr. Yo. Overall, I would say that Mr. Yo's Imperial Age play should be better than Dark's, but I would just say Dark's civilization is better than Mr. Yo's. So it should be possible for Dark to push this one back, and we see Onager as well for Dark now finally. And how is Mr. Yo trying to deal against those bombard cannons, halberdiers, and onagers? It's going to be so hard to pull off. And man, those ballista elephants, they have done some huge work here. And now we have the siege ram coming in as well. Let's see how quick Dark is going to be in responding to that. The halberdiers, they are not focusing down the light cav, they're focusing down the rams, and therefore that onager is going to bite the dust as well. And Dark could lose a huge position here in the front, losing that castle. And then on this side, we have a hand cannoneer for Mr. Yo as well. I didn't even know Khmer had that. I like Yo focusing on a multi-pronged approach with his crappy Civ matchup. Yeah, totally agree. I think if Mr. Yo is trying to play this game directly frontal in the middle against the Ethiopians, he just dies without any chance. So the way he's playing this one, he is really pulling Dark apart right now. He has a huge lead, 10,300 versus the 8,400. Dark is forced to place a castle here on the left hand side, trying to make the defenses happening. And I don't think it's going to be enough, but we will see, guys. The siege rams are trying to kill down the castle, but I don't think they're going to be too successful in doing so. And yeah, it feels like Dark is stabilizing a bit. However, he has not too much army. He has 13 army right now. While Mr. Yo, he has 18, 150 population against 134. And Mr. Yo, he needs to think about what he wants to do right now. He's not producing anything out of these archer ranges. He's not producing anything on these stables as well. And I guess he wants to fully focus onto the middle right now, because that's where a few of the extra resources are. The gold specifically. And you want to deny the gold income for the Ethiopians player. On the right hand side, we see Mr. Yo breaching through as well. And the big deal is that Ethiopians, they are shining when they can focus on one specific position. And Khmer is exactly the different way. Khmer, they are excelling when they are, you know, able to raid non-stop with the Hussars. They can build Hussars forever, literally, because their farms are working faster, or the villagers on the farms are working faster, and you can place down the farms wherever you want. You don't need a TC or a mill nearby to drop off the food. What a resurgence from Mr. Yo, exactly. On the left hand side, a few onagers being sniped as well by the Hussars. And you know, that's just beautiful for Mr. Yo, because he doesn't care about Hussars at all. He can spam them non-stop, and the onagers are very expensive. They're costing more than 35 gold. And in the long run, Dark could really see a lot of issues here. He's desperately trying to save that castle. So far, yeah, I know, I'm aware of the alt-tabbing issue, but that's something which is related to capture age right now, and there's nothing I can do right now. So, yeah, and I have to alt-tab every once in a while. It's just the way it is, unfortunately. I apologize, but I cannot do anything about that. It's not like it's too often as well, right? On the right hand side, Hussars killing or finding more villager and onager kills. And it feels like Dark's economy is completely shattered. In theory, what he would have had to do is wall himself there, and fully focus onto the middle. But it feels like Mr. Yo is crushing him from all sides. In the south, in the east, and also coming now from the west. And Mr. Yo, he's reigning supreme here. Dark dropping down to 120 population. And it feels like the GG will be inevitable. Because I don't see how Dark can pull this one back to the victory. Very smart play by Mr. Yo. The fact that he was going from the sides first instead of the middle was just the game changer for him. And you know, I said it earlier. I think the fact that he had Khmer against Ethiopians, Dark was having such a beautiful civilization advantage. And Mr. Yo still managed to get the victory in this one. So very nicely done. Okay, what do we have here? We have this, and now we are going to jump into game number 4. Regicide Fortress here. That is the second home map of Dark. We have Tatars for Mr. Yo. And on the right hand side, we have Dark playing the Red Trunks as Sicilians. And Sicilians is also the civilization he picked against. Who did he play against in their opening match? It was not Miguel, it was Tugao, no? He played against Tugao. Yeah, Tugao. So, you know, and there he was playing against Vietnamese, and he went for the first crusade, which really helped him a lot. Especially because Tugao went for halberdiers. So, Regicide Fortress, for those people who don't know, Regicide is a different mod compared to the standard 3 villager 1 scout opening. on Regicide Fortress or on Regicide in general, you're starting with 9 villagers or 10, if I'm not mistaken. You also start with a king, and you start with 500 wood, 500 food, and 100 stone. No, 50 stone and 50 gold. Is that right? I think it is right. No, 0 gold, right? 0 gold. Man, professional player right there. You can tell I'm not the professional Regicide player. Mars, hey, happy Friday. Okay, good. Regicide Fortress is a map which has been... Lyndon! Thank you so much for the 10 gifted subs. Hope the sun is shining well in San Diego. Yeah, I should have asked out for some Regicide coaching, because he is the anonymous... I think that's the word, right? Anonymous #1 Regicide player. At least that's what he is wishing for. Because Viper is obviously better than him. Thinking about is... What is the right word? Undisputed. Oh yeah, undisputed. Bam. Undisputed. Yeah. My bad. Yeah, guys, it's tough. It's tough. You have a lovely king, which is a very important unit in this game, because if you are unanimous... Oh, unanimous. Yeah, the unanimous. Yeah, that one is the one which I was mixing it up with. So I was not too far off. Yeah, unanimous. Okay, so the king, if the king dies, the game is lost. You can be in a winning position in the game, but yet if you lose the king, which has happened a couple of times already in the past, then you are going to lose the game. No matter how much of a good of a position you are in. Tatars against Sicilians. If I see that matchup, who do you guys think I'm going to choose? Tatars or Sicilians? And Nemesis is unknown or not named, yeah. Would you guys go for Sicilians or Tatars? Yeah, most people are right in the chat. Tatars, they are better, because Regicide Fortress is a very open map, and CA play is going to be so huge, and Sicilians really struggle against the CA play. The only way how they can counter the CA is with siege onagers, and siege onagers are not working against CA on open maps. On arena would be a different topic. Sicilians also have a very strong boom. They build their TCs 100% faster. They also get a bonus on their farming upgrades. So literally when you're having, for example, horse color, it's not giving you 75 extra food on the farm. It gives you, I think if I'm not mistaken, 150. It should be the double. So already having having heavy plow will lead to you having farms starting with 450 food or something like that. So that is an immense boost. And therefore they can invest the wood which they are saving by not replacing farms into the more farms, or also further TCs. Also, they have the technology which is called First Crusade. The First Crusade enables you to get 5 surgeons out of 5 TCs. Obviously, if you don't have 5 TCs and you go for First Crusade, then you only get the 5 surgeons per the TCs you have. So if you have 4 TCs, you will get 20 sergeants. And if you have 6 TCs, you get 25, because 5 TCs is the maximum. So 25 sergeants you will get to the maximum. And the passive was 7, so it was 735. No, it's 5. No, it's not 7 anymore, it's 5. Tatars on the other side. They are having an occasion boom because it is 7? No way. Really? It's 7? Oh god. How do I not know stuff like that? How do I not know? The text is Chinese because we are watching Mr. Yo's record games right now. Oh, pro player. Oh god, no, complete disaster. That is just a complete disaster. I like when I'm having the moments on the stream where I'm trying to really showcase my knowledge in this game and trying to show you guys why I'm so good in this game. And honestly, 9 out of 10 times it feels like your knowledge is better than mine. Which makes me wonder, why are you so bad in the game then? Just kidding. Yeah, so Tatars also have the bonus of... Oh, ouch. Roasted! Roasted! Gotcha, guys. Yeah, I have to be mean every once in a while. I don't help it. Imagine my skills with your knowledge. I think we would be, we would be so good. They deserve a good roast. I think so as well. No way! The conversion has happened. And that, Sicilians. Oh, Mr. Yo, delete the. Oh! Mr. Yo! Look at that. Wow, did you guys see what he has done right now? That was amazing. That is amazing. I would have deleted the stone wall and then jumped into the TC because I thought you cannot jump over the wall. Mr. Yo knew better. So where was I? With Tatars, you also get free Thumb Ring in Castle Age, and in Prill Age you get Partisan Tactics for free, automatically upgraded. And that monk, that doesn't get the conversion. No. Sicilians also get 50% less bonus damage onto them. So the spear is not going to get 100% of the bonus damage against the cavalry, but only 50%. I think that's it, right? Tatars also have the bonus that if they are up on the hill, they get, in addition to the damage or to the bonus damage you already receive by standing on the high ground, they get a 25% advantage in that as well. So you never want to fight against Tatars when they are having the hill. They buffed Flaming Camels last patch. Yeah, now they are adding even more damage against cavalry, right? You can jump all with monks. Yes, of course. Can we donate for the JMBs now, or we have to wait for the next JMB stream? The objective bar is not in the overlay. You can do that right now. Yeah. Please check the invisible wall behind that gate tower. It's gone. That's one he deleted. Can't jump over walls. He has not deleted anything. No, he has not deleted anything. Does anyone really want to tell me that he has deleted his wall? No. Linden, man. Of course. He jumped over the wall. You can jump into towers or walls. Can you trust that way still? What exactly? That you are jumping over your opponent's walls? No. You can only do that diagonally. But how? I don't know. Like, just garrison into the tower and let the monk do the job. Not that hard. You have to be as close as possible, exactly. So where are we standing right now? Dark has a 61 villager count, while Mr. Yo has 55. Wilbur is in for Mr. Yo already, while Dark does not have that yet. So I would assume that Dark has a slight advantage in that regard. Let's say 4 villagers right now. And we see the 4th TC for both players up and running already. So both of them are heavily booming. And Bosa is now coming in for Mr. Yo. He has Heavy Plow to his disposal already. And farming is running, or is going very well for Dark, because with Sicilians get so much food on the farms. 3 relics and Kashyyyks gold forever. And another Kashyyyk. He has 3 relics, yeah. Dark has managed to get 2 relics himself. I would have bet $500 that he deleted the wall, lucky me. I don't think, Lyndon, that you would find too many people countering that bet, though. So I think you would have been fine anyway. Which civ do you prefer late game? Definitely Tatars. Because Tatars, they have beautiful CA. They have also the extra armor on them. Not going to play the biggest role here in the matchup against Sicilians. But with CA should be completely dominating here. Like completely. If he had converted that knight, I would have stopped the stream. Like, no. That would have been just too crazy. We have handcard coming in for Missio. Love the timing there. Dark is a bit late on that one. Dark is going for Imperial Age before getting handcard, and I'm not the biggest fan of that. It's not like the imp timing is going to help him too much. I think it's justifiable that he's delaying his imp time by 30 seconds, but boosts his economy in the process. I prefer Magyar CA. Magyar CA are the best in the game. Magyar CA, the best. Then it should be Turks and then Tatars. If I'm not mistaken. If we're only talking about Imperial Age, right? A Frank CA are the best, yeah. If you're playing with 200% handicap, then for sure Art of the Troll. Then 100%. On CA, they're not strong. They're cheap, but they're not strong. I thought Tatars, Turks... I think Turks are better. Mongol CA are underrated. Yeah, they are. They definitely are. But they don't have the last armor upgrade on them. Okay, both players are going to Imperial Age. Mistio trailing behind in 1 minute. We see Dark also walling the sides, and I absolutely love that move. Because Mistio, Dark knows that mobility could not be his biggest friend. But yeah, scratch that thought, because he's not going for the Halberdier Onager play, he's going for the cavalry play. And with Sicilian's cavalry, you're getting yourself 8 pierce armor when they're fully upgraded. 8 pierce armor. That's something you have to digest. That's literally an eagle when you compare it to the armor upgrade on the pierce, which is insane. And then it still has the power of the cavalry itself. So yeah. What is Mr. Yo going for? He is indeed going for the CA play. He's adding another castle here. And we have 124 population right now for Dark. Mr. Yo, he has 110. So both players are fairly similar. Dark has the slight advantage here. And you will never stop a Sicilian castle. Just not working. Sicilians are building TCs and castles 100% faster. Conscription coming in. We have scale mail armor coming in as well now for Dark. And we have the cavalry coming in for Dark. So Dark getting the juicy upgrades. Ballistics, conscriptions, and padded archer armor. Being researched by Mistio as well. And I'm surprised he's going for padded archer armor that early. I think the focus should be now on getting stuff like chemistry or bracer. Yeah, bracer is definitely the most important imp tech you have in the game. First Crusade! Aha! First Crusade. So we'll have First Crusade and Pikemen and Iron Casting. So we will have everything, and nothing is going to beat the CA if they have the right mass. And the thing is also, Mr. Yo is not heavily dependent on the castle here. Right? This one is granting him nice gold here, yes, but look at that. 2+2. Where's the 2+4? Oh yeah, he's just not going for that route already. So Dark, he's a bit impatient. I mean, this is the Sicilian castle, but it's not going to work out. And now we have the heavy Cav Archer and Chemistry are about to complete as well. And we have indeed the Resurgence. But they don't have the lead upgrade yet. And don't tell me he's going to engage with unupgraded Surgeons into the CA. He doesn't even have the second infantry armor. These are going to die, like, immediately. Immediately! He's going for the elite now, but that's a bit too late. Well, it's not too late. He only lost 3 in the process. But still, it's rather annoying. And now he's also going for the chainmail armor. I would assume, guys, have you paid attention? He does not even have squires, does he? Silk armor. We have now also ring archer armor for Mistio. And Mistio, he is now at 160 population, while Dark is at 170. However, 35 of it has been granted immediately upon reaching the first crusade tag. There are 4 trebuchet out for Dark. And these Sicilians, like the Surgeons, they have 4+2. They are a bit more stronger now, but they're still going to die so heavily against those CA. And the CA are going to take care of at least 1 trebuchet, it looks like. Maybe the second one as well. It does not look like that. And you can definitely tell that Dark is struggling heavily right now to get in the army which he needs. And he's now going for fletching as well. Dark, to me, seems to be desperate. He doesn't really know which tech he should be going for. And I personally cannot blame him, because it's going to be always hard as Sicilians to play against the CA play. And at this moment, what can you really do here in Dark's position? These trebuchets are going to go down. That means the castle is going to survive. We have 4+4 cavalry right now. So they are... Okay, 2+6. It's the same. They're taking 3 damage now. Yeah, 3 damage against the CA. But still, the CA, they have 31. If Yo gets to a mass of, let's say, 40 or 45 cavalry archers, there's nothing Dark can do about that anymore. Nothing. And yeah, Dark currently has 8 army. He has 160 population. 160 villagers. And you know, if you're in these kind of moments, as a player, you look up to the top left and see, okay, my population is still healthy. I have 160 village or 160 population. However, what most players don't do is that they don't check out the villager number. And if you have 160 villagers and you have 160 population and you're being pushed back, then that's not good. That's definitely not good. This can be a false security. He has 15 cav right now. And now Mistio is finally pushing forward. Look at the CA just shredding the cavalry because of also getting the hill bonus here. Man, the cavalry is so extremely strong. Hallelujah. And they also have 6 melee armor, which is not too bad as well. Have you ever seen something like that? Sorry, but sorry for zooming in into this one, but I've never seen something like that. What the hell is this? Trebuchet are supposed to be ages away from each other, and not that close. Can you even miss? If you're a trebuchet right now, you cannot miss this short distance, can you? This should always be hitting. Oh, this is just beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful for Mistio. And after being down 1-0, he was able to make the comeback, leading him to be the victor of this series over Dark 3-1.